What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to episode 10 of Nostalgia Mania. I am your host, the real Josh Elliott. And with me, returning, is the man, the myth, the legend, Stich effing Mania this week. What's up, man?
Not too much. How are you, sir?
Good, man. I'm good. We missed you last week.
I
Talked
know.
about some Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, a game that I only played on my Pizza Hut demo that I had for PlayStation 1. So
yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah. So this is episode 10. We're finally in double digits. Feel like it's gone pretty quick, man. This is
it is
already here. So appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm looking over the chat. No comments yet. I see we got a couple of viewers already on the YouTube. So if you guys want to chat and join in on the conversation, just reply in that live chat section. Same thing on Facebook if you're listening on or watching on Facebook at CR Media. And then we are live on Twitch as well at The Real Josh Elliott. So those 3 platforms every single week, Tuesday or Wednesday. Not sure. We're trying to go every Tuesday, but sometimes we bleed over into Wednesday. But we are also just recently, all of our episodes are now available in audio format on Spotify. So you guys can go back and listen, or you can catch them if you don't like to watch it live here at 8:30 at night on a Tuesday evening. You can listen to it on a Wednesday or Thursday on your drive to work, whatever, however you take in your podcast. So that's about it. What you want to promote your social medias? Where can everybody find Stich Mania on the socials?
Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, even though I'm not ever on there. I watch more Facebook Reels than TikToks.
Gotta get used to that because I'm word on the street is TikTok's going bye next year. But
they've been saying that for years that the Chinese.
I was gonna say we've heard that before. We'll see.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, Facebook is my main. I mean, I'm on Instagram as well, but just mainly Facebook. So,
let's talk, man. Let's this isn't related to video games, but something major happened over the last week. I say major. It's not major to you anymore because you guys have done it so many damn times now, but your Kansas City Chiefs are now just clinched a playoff berth, and they clinched the AFC West now too, right?
Yep.
So off of a field goal that went off the upright and went in.
Yep. Some local businesses in Kansas City are trying to profit off of the doink for the division. So you'll probably see people with T-shirts and different kind of merchandise with that phrase on it now. I don't know who actually said it, but
Dink for the division or something?
Doink for the division.
Doink for the division. That's right. Sorry, I was the wrong clown. I said dink. I meant to say doink.
Yeah.
But let's I got my rundown here. So did you have I know you missed the episode. I know you didn't play it very often, but did you want to kind of chime in just a little bit on your experience playing Metal Gear Solid?
I didn't play it for very long. I don't even think I finished the whole Pizza Hut demo that they had on there. Yeah, I think I remember it being hard to move or hard to figure out, what was happening or what was going on. I don't know.
Yeah, those demo discs were kind of weird. Like, I don't know if you even started off at the very beginning of the game. If I'm not, maybe you did. I can't remember. I know. I just felt like some of those demo discs, they just threw you like right in the middle of like a, in the middle of the world. You don't get that first, concept of what you're actually doing. So.
Yeah, the clip, one of the clips, I think it might have actually been the very beginning of the game that you showed in the episode was you're coming up out of water and then you go up on those stairs and then you're behind that building or whatever. So I think that was the beginning of the game. I think that's where because that actually looked familiar when I saw that clip from the episode. I didn't watch the whole episode, but because I couldn't. But yeah, celebrated Brandy's birthday last week, so we couldn't celebrate.
Yeah, happy birthday to her.
Yeah, we couldn't actually celebrate it on her birthday because she worked and I was off, but we did on Thursday. So
you celebrated the day before or the day after?
Yeah,
that's cool. That is cool, man. So. That's kind of all I had before we wanted to jump right into this. We are hopping into the way back machine and going to talk about a game that was, I think this is our oldest game, with the exception of Super Mario Brothers 1 that we've talked about on the show. We've promoted Nostalgia Mania is going to be about 80s and 90s and maybe a little bit of the early 2000s. We've not hit 2000s yet. We probably will at some point. But,
too many games to cover sometimes before we get that far.
Yeah, we got a ton before we get there. Yeah, but this game was actually released at the same time as Nintendo was actually being released back in 1984. It was released on November 30th, 1984 in Japan, and then it wasn't actually released in North America until 1985, almost a full year later. So Japan got to play for almost an entire year before we got to play it over here. So
yeah.
Hunter Dillon in the chat, appreciate you, sir.
Welcome back.
Take time out.
Missed you the last couple weeks, I think, didn't we?
We missed him. Yeah, if you guys don't want to go follow him over at Hunter Dillon 95, he's got a Twitch channel, does game shows. Does a lot of fun stuff over there on his channel, so go give him a like and a follow. Also appreciate Dean Houston. I see he liked us on Facebook. He's watching via CR Media. So let's dive into this. So like I said, 1985 is when we got to play it in North America, developed by Nintendo. So it wasn't a different manufacturer. It was Nintendo. Sold 4.16 million copies and is the number 9 all-time best-selling Nintendo Entertainment System game. So NES, wow. It's in that top 10, barely, but it's there. So, and I mean, for it being one of the games that came, came with it, but it was a game that was available to purchase when NES was released. I mean, that makes sense, right? It was,
yeah.
And it's a motorcycle game. It's fun. Yep. So, let's play this intro here before we dive into this. Yeah, it's not a very long one. Let's take a look. Classic.
Plain and simple and memorable,
Yep. Almost good. I had that memorized. I was singing along. I'm not singing, but I mean, humming along with it. Yeah. So what? We always start off with memories, first impressions. What are your memories or first time remember playing Excitebike? Because this, like I said, this came out. You were just born. And I wasn't even thought of yet. I was 2 years from being born. So when did you first play Excitebike, and what are your kind of early memories of it?
I couldn't tell you when the first time I played it, and I really don't have a lot of early memories of the game. Just because I was so young. I probably wasn't playing it until I was probably 4 or 5. So, because my dad was always the one that had all the Nintendo systems and stuff like that. And that's how I played. And because I think pretty sure my first system that I ever bought myself was the GameCube. So I was pretty excited when I was able to get that GameCube. But as far as like memories with the game, I just always loved playing it. It was always fun to me. And you know what? There wasn't much to it, it wasn't like a regular motorcycle racing game. It wasn't your typical, you race against a bunch of other people and stuff like that. And it was almost like it was a 2D scroller, and it was almost like a time trial game. You had to basically place first, second, or third in a certain amount of time. And if you had the best time, then you were at first. But you had to have it beat by a certain time in order to achieve first, second, or third.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, it like you said, like it's funny you brought this up because I don't have anything to compare this to. Like with Super Punch Out, when we had Jason on, we were talking about like the time trials and people would try to beat the boxers in a certain amount of time. I mean, this is a huge game for time trials. And I saw this guy, and just for reference, the average time to beat this entire game, according to the Google machine, was 57 minutes to beat it from start to finish.
wow.
But I watched this guy, and you can look it up on YouTube. He beat the first level, and the way he was making his jumps, he would land on his front wheel, and it would like be a complete speed boost every time he landed, to where he was jumping over 7 or 8 obstacles at one time. And he would land again and do it again. And he was just going and going and going. And it was like 40, I think he ended up beating that first level in like 42 seconds or 45, and he said it was a world record. I don't know. I couldn't find whether or not it was or not, but he would land like angled on his front wheel, and it would be the exact timing. It would like shoot him forward quickly to where he would jump over felt like half the level.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, that kind of reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto 5 playing online. And I think you could do it in story mode too. Is, if you moved your vehicle or your motorcycle or whatever a certain way, you could like fly basically across the map almost. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I can't ever confirm whether or not you could actually do that, or if it was a mod. Because when you play Grand Theft Auto online, especially on PC, you have a lot of mods that you can do and incorporate that into the game, which could make it very fun. But I'll probably never get to experience that because I probably won't ever have a PC capable of being able to play that game. But
I've got one right now. I'm on it.
Yeah.
So, appreciate Autumn. Just got off from work. We're tuning in every single week. I'm pretty sure she's been here every single week. Hunter Dillon, short, very, very memorable. Yes, agreed. It's like you said, very basic, very not much to it. You got your ramps, you got your your 4 lanes that you're basically racing in. You can run into mud puddles. There's hills that you can jump over, and that's about it. And it was cool because you said it's more of a time trial game, and it is. But when you first start and you get that that career mode or that one player mode, you do have other racers on the track with you. And if you get just right, you can get right in front of them and knock the biker off, and they can do the same thing to you. But also I found it funny is you start off with just 3 or 4 racers, and then as you're going, you're passing other bikes that weren't even at the starting line. If you remember that, I don't know if you have any memory of the actual full race. You'd start off with 4, and you could have passed 15 racers before the end of the track.
Yeah, I don't remember playing. I think it was just you on the track, wasn't it?
No, there's and you'll see it on the gameplay. There's other bikers on the track with you. It's only the time trial mode, I believe, that has just you. So
dang, maybe
this is great. Let's
you know what? Maybe because I played on the Switch because I don't own the actual copy of Excitebike, and I could have swore that playing the campaign was what I've been playing.
You might not be, or maybe the Switch, or maybe the Switch version edited the game to where you don't play. Let's watch it. I got a gameplay clip. Let's this includes all the other racers.
Dude, I'm literally sitting here watching that this whole time, and I don't know, man. Maybe it is different on the Switch. I really don't know now that I think about it. And I just played it I don't know, the other day or something, a while back. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know,
if
man.
you, it's definitely a fun, and I don't know if you noticed, and I didn't look close enough, but I'm pretty sure on that track, when you started it, you started with 4, but the further you went along, you kept passing more bikers. And
yeah. Man, now I feel stupid. Now for saying that it was like a time trial game. Now I feel more like an idiot than.
Well, it is. Like I said, a lot of people go to that single player where you're the only racer on the track. That's the one I was telling you about that beat it in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
They do it by themselves. They don't have other racers on the track with them. So, I mean, you can do it where it's just you. So, do what?
I said maybe I have been playing it on time trial mode, and I don't realize it. Wow.
Yeah. But man, like I said, just watching that, it's always been just the sound of the bike. It's cool because you're not only racing and you're doing your speed burst, but you also got to like manage the temperature of the bike.
Yep.
You can't, once you hear that it starts revving up real bad, if you don't let up and stop doing the speed boost or whatever it is, you will wreck, and the bike will cause you to stop, and you have to let it cool down. Pretty like, I guess advanced for a game that was made in 1984.
Yeah.
So that was always pretty cool. I mean, you didn't really see games like that in, because before that it was Atari. Before the Nintendo was, you were playing games on Atari, and there's probably racing games on Atari. I didn't play very much of it. It was way before my time, but yeah. So, what about? I don't know. You said you just played it on the Switch.
I mean, like recently.
Recently, I mean, does the Switch version have track editor?
Truthfully, I don't even know.
You don't know? Do you remember as a kid playing this and being able to edit the tracks?
Yeah, I do vaguely, but yeah, I do remember it a little bit. I don't remember it being too advanced, but yeah.
No, but I mean, it was still pretty cool to have, maybe a buddy over or two, and like, if you want to play some Excitebike, that's fun. It's 2 players, but you gotta alternate. You're not playing at the same time, but to really get that fun feeling or whatever, you could, have your buddy sit there and create a track for you and put a bunch of jumps all in a row and make it real hard, and a bunch of mud puddles. You got to, it was just, like I said, super like revolutionary for something that was made so long ago.
Yep,
in 1984. So, but what other? I mean, I know this is a super basic game, so we don't have like a lot of content as far as like digging deep into each topic or each category, I guess, of the game. But what I wanted to, I wish I had like a clip. I couldn't find a real good one of the track editor. But I wanted to play that. I'm trying to find. I might be able to. I don't want to do that. I was going to share my screen. That's normally when my internet takes a dump.
Yeah, probably not.
But why would you like just thinking as a video game fan? It's number 9 overall in best-selling Nintendo games, and I don't know if anybody would consider it in their top 50 all time, but as far as favorite games or not, but
I would.
You would?
Oh yeah.
Why would you, like, if you had to explain this to somebody who's like maybe new to the racing video games, why would you say that Excitebike kind of stands out as a classic? Like, I guess just tell us why you think Excitebike's a classic game to play.
Well, for one, it was fun, but it was also very simple to play. I mean, the simplicity of it, and it was very simple. And you could have a lot of fun playing it, especially, if you played it with a friend or whatever. It's just endless play, I mean,
did you ever beat the game?
I don't think I ever did. No, I don't think I ever got it far. I know I don't get far on the Switch at all. So I think I get, second or third track maybe, and then lose because I crash and which it's funny because there's lots of things that as you play an adult that I didn't realize when I was a kid. I don't think I remembered that you could click on the buttons or tap the buttons and your guy would actually run faster to the bike. I don't ever remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I ever remember going over the arrows and that dropped your bike temperature down. I honestly don't remember if I knew that as a kid. So
that's something. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I remember the arrows, but I thought the arrows were, and this is
just the
me
speed
not
boost.
playing, was a speed boost, but maybe it's not. Maybe it was.
Yeah, I think it brings your temperature down if I remember right. Yeah,
you might be
like
right.
a little bit at a time every time you hit it, so it made you want to hit those. So
yeah, yep, yeah. I mean, just the sheer easy, quick.
Yeah.
The customization of the track editor, the simple gameplay, like you said, and the replayability of it is something you and I could pick up at any point in time. Now you have on the Switch. I mean, there's emulators out there. There's little flash drives basically that you can plug into the back of your smart TV and start playing all the Nintendo games. This is one that would, if you're going to go play regular Nintendo, this is one that, other than Mario, and I mean, there's other games I'd want to play on that, but this is definitely one that I would go to. And the soundtrack, like I said, like that first intro theme is something that's catchy and something I remember almost every single note of it. But going back to what I asked you is, I also did not beat the game. I was not very good at this.
Yeah.
You saw in the first clip, you started off as the normal track, and then it went to a blue, like a dark navy blue track, and the tracks change colors the further you go along. I've got another clip here I want to show you, and these are tracks that I don't remember because I didn't get this far into the game, especially this last one. I think I got to the green track, which you'll see first, but I don't think I ever got to the one you'll see at the end of this clip. So let's play that, and then we'll come back.
Well, go ahead and chalk up another thing that I didn't realize. I didn't know you could ramp those speed bumps or whatever they're called. Wow.
Yeah. And I definitely never, until I just looked this up, never saw that gray track where like half of the ramp was like just blended in with the rest of it and you couldn't really see
that's
some of
hard
the obstacles and stuff.
Man, I'm about to stop. Dude, I'm about to stop this podcast right now and go play this game. Figure out all this stuff that I didn't know.
Yeah. You have, speaking of a game, and this, we're talking about Excitebike. So there's a couple variations of Excitebike that we've seen over the years. You have it. I never owned it. I don't even remember if I've ever played it, but they made not a remake. I don't know necessarily. It was just updated graphics on Nintendo 64, and it was Excitebike 64. And you've got it, right?
Yep, I do. It's actually right here.
Right there, you can show. Yeah, there we go.
Little
Excitebike 64.
You know.
So again, you played this. What can you tell us about the Nintendo 64 version, other than the graphics being upgraded significantly? That was different, maybe, from the first one.
So obviously the graphics is definitely an upgrade to the original. It was also what would you say, third person? Yeah, it was third person instead of the side scroller. And also, you could choose certain bikes or certain riders, and the certain riders had different stats. And the jumps were definitely a lot more exciting. And it was actually a really fun game, and I played it quite a bit. So, and I think they actually have on the Nintendo Switch Online, I think for the 64, I'm pretty sure they actually have Excitebike 64 on there. I think I saw it on there, so you can definitely play it on there. But it's hard playing some of those games like that on the new Switch controllers. Like, I mean, you have like the Pro controllers that are actual controllers. You have the Joy-Cons, but the buttons aren't exactly the same. And one of those games specifically that I have a hard time playing on like the Switch with the different controllers and stuff like that is Star Fox. And I've actually I want to watch a review on it, but they actually have a Nintendo 64 controller that you can actually buy specifically for the Switch. I just don't know, without watching a review video on it, I don't know how good it would actually be for the Nintendo Switch to be able to play those 64 games.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes me want one, because I mean, if you can have the same controller that you use to play those, games from our childhood, that would be way better than playing them on these newer controllers that are, the buttons are just kind of weird on, So, I mean, and maybe you can button map them. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of, even though I own the Switch, I don't have a lot of experience with, like the button mapping and the controls and stuff like that. I just don't know a whole lot about the Switch, because I got out of like a Nintendo a long time ago. I mean, I still like Nintendo, but I mean, as far as it's my main game console that I play. So, but yeah, I loved Excitebike 64 too. It was definitely a fun upgrade. So, and it's a lot different than the original, because there's what, 10 plus years, give or take, between the two, maybe a little more.
Yeah, it was actually 15 years.
Okay, yeah, I said 10 plus.
It was released in 2000. So
yeah.
Yeah, here we are talking about a game that was released in 2000. I just said we haven't touched it yet. But
yeah,
no, I mean, it looked pretty cool, especially side by side with Excitebike on NES. I saw, when I was looking it up, I saw a couple clips of them. Looks like there was multiplayer mode, split screen multiplayer mode for it, because it was a Nintendo 64, so you could play probably up to 4 players.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think I ever played it multiplayer though. I think I always just played it by myself. So
yeah. I also thought it was cool, like some of the the graphics obviously being better, and the bikers being able to kind of lean into their turns as you were turning your bike. You could lean into it to get.
Oh yeah, because your leg would stick out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is one thing yeah.
So season mode, I don't know what really that entails, but I know season mode was part of it. The track editor was still there. And then also I read that it's some sort of unlockable content, but if you beat the game, you unlocked the entire Excitebike original that you could play on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And play the entire NES version on your N64.
Yeah, I don't think I ever beat it or played it that far. And I didn't mess with the track editor either. I primarily played season mode. That's what I played on there. So you just progress, you win your races and then you progress, through the game. So
yeah. And Autumn's in the chat. I think I've heard of the game but never played it. It's a lot of these games all of the games are gonna be before your time. But I know you probably did play it just because this is a game that I think your dad had and we played quite a bit over at your house. But that speaking of like other games, did you ever play or did you ever own a Wii or a Wii U?
No. My girlfriend owns a Wii U, but I think the handheld, I think that broke or didn't work, so you couldn't even use the actual system. So, because I think in order to even use the system or play it, you had to have that handheld controller for it. But I know nothing about the Wii U, honestly. I have a Wii, but never owned a Wii U.
Well, the reason I was asking, sorry, I thought I heard something upstairs, but the reason I was asking is because on the Wii U, there's a game called Mario Kart 8, which Mario Kart is going to be a future episode on this show.
Oh, for sure.
We might have to do a super episode and talk about both on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and 64.
Might have to do them all, man. Honestly.
Yeah, you're probably right. We'll probably just lump them all into one and talk about them all the way up till now. But regardless, on Mario Kart 8, there is a DLC on the Wii U.
Yep.
And it's called the Excitebike Arena.
Yeah.
And I watched a video of that on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I mean, you're behind the Mario or whoever you're playing, but it's got that old school, like it's got the Excitebike theme. But it's kind of like I don't know. It's like an alternate version of it. It's not the exact one. It's got the Excitebike logo up on the screen back behind.
Yeah.
And you can see the big ramps. You got the mud puddles in there, and it's a kind of a cool callback.
Mario
unlockable.
Mario Kart 8 was actually on the Wii. I believe it was on the Wii U, and it's on the Switch. So, yeah, they're kind of riding. Nintendo's kind of riding Mario Kart 8 like Rockstar's riding GTA with having it on several systems. So, but of course, which each system is better graphics, better gameplay, new stuff that's added to it. So, Mario Kart, I loved as a kid. Can't really get into it much anymore. So,
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
Mario Kart 8. Yeah.
Oh, if you gave me, I can't get into the new ones because like there's so many different features where like cars can fly or glide and
you have motorcycles and
I'm not good at it. I did, but if you throw in Super Nintendo or N64 version, I'm definitely down. Autumn says yes. When I play Mario Kart, I really like the Excitebike, so she knows she's played the Excitebike map on Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's all watching. I know Autumn's still here. We've actually got one on Twitch, and it's not Hunter. I thought Hunter might be the one. Somebody's on my Twitch watching the show right now. So hello, Twitch viewer. Give us a like, share, follow. The rest of them are on YouTube. This is an off the cuff neither one of us know this is happening because we are way short on time because we're already pretty much at the end of the episode. We're going to just do an impromptu draft. Neither one of us prepared for this. Neither one of us have anything in our back pockets. If anybody in the chat right now wants to participate in this draft, let us know. We're just going to draft. We're going to make it easy. We're talking about NES. We're going to draft 5 NES games.
Oh, God.
Just in general. Doesn't matter the genre, the year it was made, nothing else. We're going to draft 5 regular Nintendo games. And we'll do the same thing as we did last time. We'll post them up on our socials. We'll have people grade them, rank them, whatever. Get some interaction. It was fun doing it. We haven't had it. We've only done it one time since we started the show. So it's a broad topic. So I think anybody in the chat who wants to participate, Autumn, if you want to be in on it. If Hunter's still here, if you want to, I mean, hell, we can do a four-person draft. And we'll just draft 5 regular Nintendo games. We're not going to go right this second, so we'll give you guys a little bit of time. We will hop into our, unless you have something else, Stitch. I don't want to cut you off. That kind of does it for Excitebike.
Real quick, I just want to say I don't have back pockets, so we're good there. Just front pockets. So
what explain? I don't. Did I say something?
You said we don't have anything in our back pockets. Like it wasn't planned. It wasn't.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. I was kind of waiting for a time to throw that in there, but I didn't want to interrupt your flow. I didn't want to mess with your feng shui.
Oh, you should have. But throw me all off. Chase does it all the time. All right, let's do this. We're gonna go to the pop culture section, and we will, as always, look back at 1985. Sorry, this microphone's blocking my view here. All right, so we're going back to the movie that was released at the same time this game was released, which was October of 1985. I believe I've seen this movie. It's been a very long time, but let's take a look.
He's a man with a plan.
Where are we going?
Shopping. She's about to become part of it.
I've got a 7:30 advanced karate class.
You're not going to make it. From the moment they meet.
Are you going to kill me or something?
Trust me. The adventure begins. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where did you learn how to do that? Ray Dawn Chong.
I read the instructions.
Commando. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th at a theater near you.
Commando? I thought it was called Suburban Commando.
No, Suburban Commando was with Hulk Hogan.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure Suburban Commando was Hulk Hogan.
Man, we could at least act like we know what we're doing on this show. Maybe one day.
I mean, I'm surprised you said Suburban Commando, and it popped in my head. That's a Hulk Hogan movie. I mean, only reason why I know that is because I remember specifically, I think Rick Moranis was in Suburban Commando too.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different Hulk Hogan movie, but I remember my Uncle Jason had a Suburban Commando poster hanging up in it might have been in his room. Might have been in the second room, but anyway.
Yeah, you're right. It was Hulk Hogan. I had to Google it.
Had to see if I was
use the old Google machine. I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was Suburban Commando, but
you're good. All right, let's look at. I don't have a TV show that I could not find one that debuted in 1985 in October of '85. So we are going to go with something that was the first. This store was first opened in Q4 of 1985, and the first store was in Dallas, Texas, I believe.
Imagine the perfect video store. It would have a great selection, right?
Over 10,000 videos, 3 evening rentals, so no rush, no hassle. Fast checkout, 24-hour quick drop return, open late every night. Well, the perfect video store
Welcome to Blockbuster Video.
is popping up all over the country. There's one near you.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
Oh, good old Blockbuster, man.
Yep. 1985, I believe the first one was opened back in Dallas or Austin, Texas. I can't remember exactly, but obviously that commercial was a few years after that. But
Yeah. Wow.
and then this, we changed it up a little bit last week. So this major sports moment happened in October of 1985. And you should know, everybody watching this should know what happened in October of 1985.
To Motley for the title.
Dude,
Wow.
I got goosebumps watching that. Wasn't even alive when that happened, but watching
I was barely.
hometown team, a team you love, that's the first. That's their first World Series win, Kansas City Royals. For those listening on Spotify, didn't do much of anything until 2014 from that moment, but still cool to be able to look back on that Brett Saberhagen and see the old Kauffman Stadium before the renovations, the old big crown board, crown vision, whatever you want to call it. So
No background in the stadium really at all, except some
Yeah.
trees and some land.
those beautiful fountains were still there though. So, but all right. So nobody in the chat chimed up. So, or piped up, whatever you want to call it. You still got time. If anybody wants to be involved in this draft, we're gonna draft regular Nintendo games. We're gonna do just a regular back and forth style draft. If a third person wants to join, we will let you at any point in time. We won't have you insert once we've already done our first round picks, though. Stitch, since I picked this topic, I will let you have the first draft pick. And let's try to, I'm going to edit this, post it on socials. So,
So you're going to give me the first
let's
pick,
try
huh?
to say, and my first round draft pick is my set, that way it's easier for me to edit and modify it for the socials. So go ahead, sir. You got number one pick.
Man. All right, my first pick in the 2024 video game draft, I select Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Great pick.
Which will probably be more than likely a future episode.
We will probably make sure we talk about it. We touched on it a very, very little bit with Jason on Super Punch-Out. I think it probably deserves its own episode. Probably as should my first round draft pick. And that is the original Zelda for Nintendo Entertainment System, not Link to the Past.
It's a good pick.
So that also is a game that we probably should cover in a future episode. So
Yep, absolutely.
So I think I only know a few games like Duck Hunt, Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda. Yes, Legend of Zelda was my first round pick. Mike Tyson and Zelda are off the board. Stich, number 2. Who is your second overall pick?
Man, I got to go back. Man, I got to go look up some stuff. That's what I got to do.
I've already got one on my brain. I'm trying to go off the top of my head.
Man. Man, I should have busted out some of those games when I was looking for Excitebike 64. That's what I should have done. Dude, this is... I don't know, man. For some reason, I'm just kind of drawing a blank. Because some of mine may not be popular or, even known for that matter. Man, this is going to end up turning into like an 8-hour episode because I'm trying to find.
I got my second pick already.
Do what?
I said I got my second pick already.
Well, I'm sure you do.
This is why this is off the cuff.
All right.
Pick it.
Even though it was a very frustrating game when you got to certain parts of it, like it made you want to throw your controller or even throw your whole system or take the system, put it outside in the street and leave it there and then come back in.
My Uncle Jason did that.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. With the third pick, my second pick in the 2024 video game draft, the first Ninja Turtles game, which the cover of it is all the turtles are all wearing red because that was something that was in the comic books. They all wore red. So the only way you could tell who was who by the weapons that they held on the cover. So, yep.
Nice.
It was a fun game, but it was a very frustrating game. And
I remember playing it.
I never beat it. I could never get past a certain part. I think the furthest I ever got is where you could drive around in the little turtle van. And yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could shoot the I don't know what you call them. The Foot Clan drove around in them. They were like, they'd run you over, squish you and kill you. So, but yeah.
With my second pick in the 2024 Nintendo Entertainment System draft, I select Contra.
That's a good pick.
And that is one of my favorite shooter games on Nintendo. And probably with the exception of Mario, Excitebike, Zelda, even though I played that much less than the other 3 I just mentioned, Contra is a go-to. I'm going back to Contra anytime I can on regular Nintendo. So that's my choice. All right, so we got 4 down, 6 more total to go.
All right, so with the 5th pick in the 2024 video game draft, I select the original Donkey Kong.
Nice. It's the one with the is that the one with the ladders and the
Yep.
Mario going up the
That game was frustrating too.
Very. Did you ever watch the was it The Simpsons or was it Family Guy? that did a parody of Donkey Kong where they were outside. I think it was Family Guy.
I don't
where
know.
they set it up like outside their house and they were climbing up and.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen it.
Yeah. All right. So my third pick in the 2024 Nintendo Entertainment System draft, I am going to select Tecmo Bowl.
Another solid pick. That is one game that I don't think I played very much of at all. I don't like.
Did you ever play Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl? I know they both were different games, but
truthfully, I don't remember.
You don't play the Tecmo, yeah.
I
remember a little bit of it, like the side scroller,
yeah.
You know, and I don't have a lot of memories of it, just because I most of my memories start with Super Nintendo, but yeah, I remember going back as an older child and as a teenager and playing that game, and it was always fun to go back and relive some of those, pre-Jaguars, pre-Panthers. They weren't even thought of in this game. So
yeah.
All right. We are down to the last two picks for both of us.
All right. So I'm choosing a game that I don't know if you've ever heard of, if you've ever played.
All right.
And I don't know if anybody in this chat has even ever heard it or that will even watch this video. I don't know. It's called TNC Surf Designs. It's called Town and Country Surf Designs. And it was a skateboarding game. It was a surfing game. But it was one that I played as a kid, and it was definitely a fun game. And it too was
never heard of it.
It's basically the cover of it's got like a gorilla or an orangutan on a surfboard and some skaters on it. Yeah, because you had different variations of like surfing or skating on there. So
yeah. Nice. All right. So with my fourth pick in the 2024 draft, I think this one probably should have went a little higher, but I'm going to go ahead and select it. It is my second favorite Mario game of all time, and this is Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's a good choice, man. Third one.
I say it's my second favorite because my number one favorite, and I'm probably going to get some flack on this, is Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, but Super Mario 3 was a very, very close second for me.
Dude, Super Mario World is a phenomenal game. It really is, which will probably be a future episode.
1,000%. That's an episode in of itself. So
yep.
Man. All right.
This is making me go back.
There's a couple that I want to pick here for number 5.
Man. See, the easy thing would be to pick the Zelda games, to pick the Mario games, like
that's why I kind of stayed away from. I mean, I did Zelda first, but I wanted to get Contra. I wanted to get Tecmo Bowl.
Because everybody has a Mario game or a Zelda game somewhere on their list of
right.
of favorite games. So that's why honestly, as much as I love the original Zelda, and didn't like, how can I put this? Like, I played it, but I wasn't like very good at it, and I didn't play it long enough to like I don't think I ever beat it.
Right.
Because then when you're a kid, you don't really sit there and memorize. Oh, it's 5 screens over and 2 screens up, or stuff like that. So,
Right.
All right.
Let's take your last pick, and if you've got 2, you're debating on. Let's make your pick, and then give me your honorary mention, I guess.
All right. Well,
I've got 2, and I'm going to pick one, and I'm going to give you my honorary mention.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this, even though it was already mentioned, but not drafted. What is this? My 5th pick, right?
Last pick. Yep.
5th pick, yeah. So I'm going Duck Hunt. Yep, I'm going Duck Hunt. So
solid.
Yep. Did you have the gray gun, or did you have the orange gun? Which gun did you have, Josh?
I believe I had both.
Yeah.
I specifically remember the orange gun at Jason's house, my grandma's house. I actually remember the orange gun more than I do the gray one. I mean, I know I had both. I think I had the gray one at my house, but I think I remember playing with the orange one more often.
Yeah.
So.
I have the gray one. My little brother Josh, I'm pretty sure I used to let him play Duck Hunt on one of my old TVs. Of course, you had to sit there and, literally either hold the gun right up to the screen, the glass screen, or, you had to back it up, a certain, but you had to be really close,
It's still cool though how that game could work. So, in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, knowing me and knowing the type of content that I typically put out here on streams, and the content you see right behind my head and my T-shirt that I'm wearing, I'm going to go with pro wrestling on Nintendo Entertainment System. And the reason I say that is because this game I played a lot with my dad, with my uncle, with my grandpa. And I remember a home movie specifically. We were laying on the living room floor on our stomachs back when the TVs were on the ground, that big box. And we were laying there playing it with the Nintendo on the floor right in front of us. And we're looking up at the TV. And I just remember my dad playing, and he would get super into it. You have 5 characters. You had Starman, you had the Amazon, which that's going to be a future episode. Maybe not a full episode. I don't know. These NES games, there's not a lot to them. So we may have to, depending, because this one went pretty quick, we're already over an hour now with the draft. But anyway, I'm picking pro wrestling. And then, like I said, I have an honorary mention. And I don't know if you ever played this game. It was called RC Pro-Am.
I do.
And
it was a fun game.
That game was extremely fun to play, and I remember playing that a lot growing up too. So there you have it. Stitch, your draft: Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, Donkey Kong, the original TNC Surf Design, and Duck Hunt. And then mine was The Legend of Zelda, Contra, Tecmo Bowl, Super Mario 3, and pro wrestling.
My honorary mention, by the way, is Cobra Triangle. Don't know if you've ever heard it. Don't know if you've ever played it. You're a little red boat, and you got to shoot the dragon. That was one of the bad guys or bosses in the game was a dragon, because that's what's on the cover. And my dad loved that game, and that's how I got to play it. Which you can play it on the Switch, which is pretty cool.
I like it.
And I believe I still have the original game somewhere.
Yeah, you've got a lot of the originals. I don't have. Speaking of which, I don't know. I'm gonna do a quick. Give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna step away from the screen real quick.
Okay.
And then I will be. Let me see if I can stop the cam real quick. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go try to find something real quick. It's just right outside this door here.
Okay. Well, I guess that means I'm by myself awkwardly. So thanks for that, Josh. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, well, since we've done past episodes, so there's GoldenEye 007 on Nintendo 64. So there's that. And you're back. So that was
I told you it's right outside the door.
that was
So,
a lot quicker than I imagined.
Well, you've shown video games in the past, and this one's a game we just talked about yesterday, and it is, for whatever reason, a game I have had in my TV stand for years and years and years and years, and I have not had an original PlayStation since before high school or in high school. But I still have the original case and the games, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, because it was a double disc, wasn't it? Or was it 3 discs?
It was 2 discs.
Yeah.
And I remember you would, I got both discs still. And yeah, I wish I would have remembered to show that last week, but because we talked about trying to talk to Meryl, and the secret in that game was it kept telling you that her codec code was on the back of the case.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about
for hours on trying to find something in the game that was a case, and could not find a case in the game until we flipped this thing over and Meryl's code's right there on the back of the physical case.
Wow.
But anyway, that's it.
I wonder if that would be considered. Would that be considered an Easter egg, you think?
I don't think it's an Easter egg because it's part of the game. If it's something that like what we talked about with Revolver Ocelot, with I can't remember the guy, the one that reads your mind. That one was an Easter egg because that one we had to actually get him to stop reading your mind. You flip the controller from the first port to the second port, and then you could actually beat him because he would stop being able to like predict your moves or whatever. So
yeah.
But anyway, that does it for Excitebike episode 10. We don't have any episodes. Close that door. We don't have any episodes scheduled as far as like what game we're going to do next. Is there anything off the top of your mind that you want to jump to? We can talk offline. We don't got to talk about it here. But I mean, we've done a couple NES games, a couple Super, a couple 64. PlayStation. We've only done one arcade. We've done one Sega. So we pretty much hit the majority of the main consoles. So we can do whatever.
Oh, I mean, I have games I want to do, but as far as like doing the next one, I don't know yet. I mean, I get so bored at work, I can start doing the rundowns and like ideas and stuff that I want to talk about, which I've already started on another game. So
yeah, we can. We don't have to announce it right now, but we'll talk about it after the show, and then we'll kind of start promoting it for next week. So, and then we'll have to talk too because we're going to be coming up on Christmas and New Year's. So next week might be the last show of the year because Christmas is the following Wednesday and New Year's is the following Wednesday after that. So we got to make it a good one to close out for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll get back into it second week of January. So, all right. If you got nothing else, let's close this bad boy out.
No, man. Other than acting like an idiot there, towards the beginning of the show, it was another good show. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, had a great viewership throughout. I had Autumn and Hunter commenting in the chat, but we had well over that. I mean, in watching on. I mean, we still got one watching on Twitch. Again, I don't know who's watching on Twitch, but thank you for watching this whole episode. But appreciate you, Hunter. Appreciate you, Autumn. Appreciate you, Alyssa, Jamie. I know you're all watching in your living room or whatever on the big screen. I always like to see that picture. And other than that, this has been another episode of Nostalgia Mania. I am the real Josh Elliott. Next week, we'll be doing the Nostalgia Mania. Again, I like to promote, we're going to most likely, the guest is about 95% confirmed. We're going to have another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag next week as well. That'll be on Thursday night. So over at the I-70 Hot Tag socials. I am the real Josh Elliott. This is my co-host, Stich Effin Mania. Appreciate everybody. And until next week, as always, let's stay.
Goodbye.